What's going on, guys? I'm back from another video. This is our react / commentary. I know Cyrus did a video on this, and I'm a huge fan of Cyrus. I haven't watched his video yet, so I'm gonna have fun with this. So let's get right into the video. Oh, what the fuck did I just do? Okay.
I am a pedophile. I'm not a monster.
I mean, that's one way to get that starting out of the way, I guess. And you're not a monster.
I have the traction, but I don't act on it.
Okay. That's still not good.
I have never ever sexually abused a child. I never will. I do not.
Alright, that's good to hear, but still, if you're attracted to them, still not good, you know? Whatever.
Look at child porn. I never will. I obey the laws. I respect the laws. I respect society's position on this. I understand it and agree with it. I am.
You agree with it, something's not adding up. Like, this is some 2 + 2 = 5 kind of shit, you know?
Part of one of the most hated groups of society.
Yeah.
No question about it. We are the scapegoats du jour. If you look at history, there's always one minority that seems to be the one that everybody kind of persecutes, and I think we're it.
Yeah, that's completely fair. I'm actually going to pop ahead a little bit here, just so no idea where the juicy shit is.
A lot of people think that if you're attracted to kids that you have some kind of like unusual degree of urge to go out and attack kids, and it's not like that. Most people, when they see somebody they're attracted to, do they automatically think, oh, I want to jump on them and have sex with them? So it's the same with us. It's just, we just happen to be attracted to kids. I would say probably starts about 3, 4 years old.
Okay, 4 years old. Their ass don't even know the ABCs, and yet you're giving them the D. Their ass don't know the ABCs, and you're giving them the D. Oh, that's not kind, sir.
And then goes up into early 20s, late teens, early 20s, and it kind of peaks at about like 9, 10 years old.
You feel you. That is a steep. You're giving yourself forward a bit more.
Approximately a few thousand members. We have people who do feel guilty, deal with shame, and we try to help them get past that because, they didn't choose their sexuality, as long as they're not acting on it and they're devoted to doing the right thing. Our philosophy is there's no reason to feel guilty for that.
There is some reason. If they have acted on it, it sucks, but I don't feel bad for them if something happens. Right.
We can talk about books or movies or music or whatever, What was the reaction from the public, or?
Yeah.
Well, I got a pretty public backlash, but
That's very fair. Honestly, if I'm making a video on this, then that could very well count as backlash.
The same token, I actually got a lot of support privately. I got hundreds and hundreds of emails from people who were very supportive. A lot of them were people who were survivors of abuse.
What? I'm sorry, but you got support? Okay, whatever. That's the weirdest thing I'll ever hear about that. God, Earth lets know get the boat would.
Are you worried about your own personal safety in putting yourself in the public eye?
You know, I used to be worried about my safety, and I do take some precautions. I carry this pocket knife with me just in case I ever get attacked. It's never happened, but
Just head a little bit again.
sitting in the living room drawing, and I just remember looking up and just being blown away by how beautiful I thought she was. Being years old, he'd come over to visit. He had brought, I was 13, and a neighbor had come over to visit. He had brought his little daughter with him. She was probably about 7 or 8 years old. I was sitting in the living room drawing, and I just remember looking up and just being blown away by how beautiful I thought she was.
No, that's not right. I mean, 13, you should probably be looking at other 13-year-olds, if anyone.
Initially, I repressed the feelings, you know, especially in my teen years. Because I was a regular at a church, I had asked God to take it away, and you know, I kind of felt like He had. And as I started aging and realized that the age of the girls I was attracted to were staying the same, that's kind of when I realized, you know, this was going to be a problem. I went out.
Okay, at least you realize it is a problem, but that's still not good.
With a girl when I was 20 years old, so she was 26. She was very petite, so she was my type physically, or I thought, you know, at the time. At this time, I still wasn't really that attracted to 3, so I did, and then he just ended. Yeah.
As a child, can you tell us about that?
I came over to visit my grandmother. There was a guy that they didn't really know him that well. He was an acquaintance. And she asked me if I would take him outside to show my grandpa's garden. And he went out to the side of the garden and sat down on the ground and patted the ground, indicating he wanted me to sit by him. And so I did, and then he just basically touched me. So it was a one-time event.
It's not like sexual abuse, which that really sucks, and it would both so sexual assault really, I'm not too sure what this would fall under. Okay, that's weird, out of the ordinary, definitely.
I wouldn't say that it was the only thing that led to my sexuality. I would say there was probably a lot of other things that led me in that direction. But yeah, I think it was probably a contributing factor. You know, I am a pretty reclusive person by nature, so I don't interact with the public that much anyway. You know, I don't go out of my way to be around children. If they're around me, then they're around me. You know, it happens. You can't completely cut yourself.
Whoever is bringing children over to this guy, something's wrong with the man. Seriously, especially since it's so long. Anyway, I think that's where I'm gonna end this video off. So I'm gonna leave you on this note and have a good day. Stay when we have to. See ya.